went down her throat. She was a cannibal now.
"I eat people!"
she screamed.
"I'll kill you and eat you! Mama will cut off your balls and I'll put them on my Lucky Charms and eat them for breakfast!"
The light came on. Hilda was standing in the doorway, still wearing what she'd had on when Polly had gone to bed, but all wrinkled, like she'd been sleeping in her clothes.
"Mama,"
Polly whispered. Hilda never let her boyfriends mess with Polly.
"Bastard!"
Hilda yelled.
"You fucking bastard!" "Mama!"
Polly cried. Scrambling to her feet, she launched herself at her mother and wrapped her skinny arms around Hilda's waist.
"Cunt!"
her mother shrieked.
"You fucking little cunt!"
She slapped Polly so hard she saw red things in her eyes. That was the night Polly realized that what she had taken for caring in Hilda wasn't so much looking after her daughter as having jealous rages. Bang, bang, bang. Polly hit her forehead against the cold aluminum of the trailer door, driving the memory out. She was 15, not 9. There had to be a statute of limitations on bad memories.
"Nobody's fucking home! Beat it!"
was shouted from inside. Sighing, she turned her back on the racket, put her geometry book on the peeling paint of the step so she wouldn't get her good school skirt dirty, and sat, shoulders against the scarred and dented door. Through the thin aluminum, she listened to the tide of battle ebbing and flowing. In European history, they had been reading about the 100 Years' War. England and France had nothing on Polly's mother and stepfathers. They'd been going at it as long as she could remember. The only thing that changed was the stepfathers' names. Used to be, they had married her mother, but the last 2 or 3 hadn't bothered. Why Hilda kept dragging men home was a mystery. It wasn't like they brought money or glamour. Stinky shoes, hairy backs, and hard fists were more like it. Polly was determined never to get married.
"No man!"
she yelled as somebody crashed against the door.
"Except to have kids,"
she amended silently. More than anything, she wanted kids to protect, love, and teach, to keep safe and happy. Another spate of profanity scattered her thoughts. It was getting cold, and now she had to go to the bathroom. A couple times, when it looked like somebody was going to kill somebody, she'd call the cops, but they just hauled Hilda or the boyfriend in, and when they came back, it was worse than before.
"Get over it!"
she yelled in the general direction of her left shoulder.
"Kill each other or make up! I gotta pee! God!"
She slumped back against the trailer. This was the 3rd time this week she'd come home to World War III. When the weather was nice, it was easier to deal with. She could go sit in the woods if it wasn't too buggy, or walk down to Prentice's tiny all-purpose corner store and get a milkshake if she had the money, or kill time leafing through the magazines on the rack if she didn't. Mrs. Chandler didn't mind, as long as there were no other kids around. Mrs. Chandler knew why Polly couldn't go home, but she was too nice to let on. Polly appreciated that. That changed her letting Polly hang around the store from charity to friendship.
"The farmers don't take charity,"
her mother would say when she was sober enough to be embarrassed that someone else wanted to do for her daughter what she could not. That was a lot of malarkey. They'd been on welfare off and on since the 3rd, or maybe the 4th, stepfather had gone north to Chicago, where he was going to make a killing in the oil fields and then send for them. Truckloads of malarkey. Polly's mom had waited by the phone until Polly told her there weren't any oil fields in Chicago. A fist or a foot or a head slammed into the door. Polly pounded back angrily with the flat of her hand.
"Would you pass out so I can go to the bathroom?"
she yelled. Ma Denko, the old colored woman who lived 2 trailers down, looked up from the laundry basket she cradled in her stick-thin arms.
"Why don't you come on home with me and have some cookies?"
Ma said.
"I better not, but thanks,"
Polly replied.
"You know how it is." "I do, but you come on anyway if it starts raining." "I will."
But she wouldn't. Of all charity, Polly's mom hated charity from Negroes.